I, as your liberty-loving Latino, can attest that America was not founded as a racist nation. America, because of our Judeo-Christian ethic, fought our deadliest war, in part to stamp out the sin of racism. Most nations on planet Earth have not done this. For example, the Democrats' favorite country, China, is the biggest racist country on the planet. Yet Democrats excuse China's racism because communist China undertakes their hatred of blacks in service to the complete government control and a collectivist cancerous mindset. So too is it with Democrats in the United States, revealing the real revolting racists. That's our focus in today's preamble. Both in the past and the present, the Democrat Party is the source of racial divisions in the United States. From the Jim Crow South to Joe Biden's White House, dividing America along racial lines is a key objective of theirs. After the election of Barack Obama, Marxists in the Democrat Party feared they'd lose a key weapon in dividing America and advancing socialism and communism. After all, how could they accuse a country of being racist after electing a black man twice? So they created this DIE movement, diversity, inclusion, and equity. No longer were Democrats talking about equality. Democrats are now rejecting the sage words of Dr. Martin Luther King that our people should be judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. Today's socialists who run the Democrat Party, run your government, yes, even run your government-run schools, they say race is all that matters. They push this division so far that they will install unqualified and incompetent people so long as those people check certain racial and ideological boxes. Case in point, Biden's new brain. On her first day on the job, she ignored the American people, made it all about her, listing the reasons she was chosen.
I am obviously acutely aware that my presence at this podium represents a few firsts. I am a black, gay, immigrant woman, the first of all three of those to hold this position.
As Karine Jean-Pierre has demonstrated every day since, none of those characteristics qualified her to do the job that she's getting paid with American taxpayer dollars to do. Joe Biden, in a racist and sexist move, said he would choose only a black woman for the Supreme Court. Joe Biden didn't care that there were more qualified Hispanic, Asian, white people, or black males. But it goes far beyond ignoring qualifications as a mechanism to hire based on race. Joe Biden and the Democrat Party are fully embracing racism against whites. The Biden regime's DIE director at the Pentagon will not be punished after she made racist comments about white people. Calissa Wing is on the record stating her goal was to tear down the system in education. She also agreed it was time for a racial reckoning and revolution in America. In a viral tweet, this left-wing Biden regime official expressed her hatred for white people. In one part of the tweet, she said, quote, "I'm exhausted with these white folks in these professional development sessions," end quote. For context, what if a white conservative had tweeted he or she was tired of these black folks or tired of these Latino folks? In all cases, tweets like that are racist. But Wing didn't think so. In the same tweet, she made this absurd claim, quote, "This lady actually had the caudacity to say that black people can be racist too. I had to stop the session and give Karen the business. We are not the majority. We don't have power," end quote. Caudacity. It appears to be a racist term that combines the words Caucasian and audacity. In a recent hearing, Congressman Matt Gaetz wanted to know what the administration had discovered about that word after their supposed lengthy investigation.
What does caudacity mean?
I have no idea, Congressman.
You took 6 months to investigate one tweet. You didn't even figure out what the words meant?
I didn't investigate the thing. She's a DOD.
Well, you said in the Fox News article that you were going to take 30 days and investigate it, and it took you 6 months. In a 6-month investigation, you guys didn't learn what caudacity meant? I think you know. I think every person that's going to watch this exchange knows you know. She's trying to lash audaciousness with someone being Caucasian, isn't she?
I have no idea, Congressman.
Now, does this go back to Team Biden being made up of total incompetence? They did a half-year investigation on one tweet and couldn't determine what their racist employee meant to say. I don't think we can chalk this up to unqualified and dumb people inside the Biden regime. I think that we're seeing this tried and true left-wing tactic here. Just drag out fake investigations, hoping the American people will forget about it. In this case, hope that Americans forget that the Biden regime is populated with committed racists. As demonstrated, Democrats are keeping racism against whites alive and well. What about racism against people of color? Well, the good news here is that that's hard to find in America these days. It's so hard to find, in fact, that left-wing black folks are having to invent racism. James McIntyre, a 60-year-old black man, was arrested in Atlanta last month after he allegedly vandalized a historic Baptist church with spray-painted imagery of swastikas and hangings. Naturally, the left wing tried to blame whites. Just goes to show you the level of honesty of left-wingers. But racism against blacks, it can be found in America, courtesy of white leftists. Short time ago, Ami Horowitz, he hit the streets to find out what blacks and whites thought about voter ID. Now, polls show overwhelming support for voter ID. That is, unless you ask left-wing white folks in Berkeley, California.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African-American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed.
I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon.
All you folks of color out there, look at how these white leftists think of you. That's how these left-wingers regard we people of color. We don't have brains to get free state-issued ID. We don't know how the internet works. We're criminals. Now, they learn all this garbage in GovEd and at university. So how did black people in Harlem respond to those white Democrats?
Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. That's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right?
That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's at on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
Right, I'm with him. That's just stupidity. White left-wingers, it's just stupidity. Chris Salcedo Show Axiom states that leftists project qualities onto others that they themselves have in abundance. If they call you stupid, chances are it is the left-wingers who are actually stupid. If they say you're unpatriotic, chances are it is they who hate America. And if they call you a racist, you know now that it's the left wing in this country that is the genesis of divisive racism.